Edo State has a large concentration of cannabis sativa and cannabis farms. And this is coming after Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun and Delta following behind. These are located around the border along the Ore-Benin road. It is a known fact also that yes, cannabis, otherwise known as Igbo, and Indian hemp is grown in Nigeria, but the venture is regarded generally as an offense, even though it is a profit-making business and, of course, highly medicinal. And Nigeria says it is a no-no. All right, this is our focus this week on Frontline. We are taking a look at cannabis sativa cultivation in Nigeria, its use and benefits, and of course, let's look at other information regarding laws and the way forward in Nigeria. In the studio today, I have Buba Wakawa. He's the State Commander, Nigeria National, okay, finally, sorry. National NDLEA, yeah. Okay, finally. Edo State has a large concentration of cannabis sativa. This is coming after Oyo, Ondo, Delta, and Ekiti, and of course, other areas like Osun State. These farms are located around the border along the Ore-Benin road. Cannabis sativa, as we all know, is a no-no in Nigeria, even though it has medicinal values. And of course, the laws in Nigeria prohibit its cultivation. This is our focus today on Frontline. My name is Ogochkuka Ona, and you're welcome. We are taking a look at cannabis sativa, the laws, and of course, the way forward in enforcement vis-a-vis drug abuse in the country. In the studio is the State Commander, NDLEA, Edo State. He is Buba Wakawa. Sir, you're welcome to Frontline.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being on your program today.
Thank you so much. All right, let's just go straight to the point. What is cannabis?
Cannabis sativa, otherwise popularly called Igbo, is a plant that is very addictive. It is a plant that was brought into Nigeria from India. You know, that's why it is popularly called Indian hemp. It was during the World War when Nigerian troops went to Burma in India to fight. When they were coming back, they brought the seeds to Nigeria, and that is the genesis of the existence of cannabis sativa in Nigeria.
Okay, so it came from India, yes, through soldiers and sailors, I learned.
Yes.
But it seems Nigeria is overtaking India in the cultivation of cannabis sativa. Why is this so?
Yes, the environment, the weather environment within the southern part of the country is very conducive for the growth of this cannabis sativa, and that is why it is growing very well within this area here, and gradually is expanding to other parts of the country.
Okay, so as the head of the agency in this regard, in checking the excesses of the growers of this plant or weed, what is the state of the cultivation in Nigeria generally before we come to Edo State?
It's very worrisome because it is being produced on a very large scale, especially in the cannabis producing states, which, like you mentioned, Osun, Ekiti, Delta, Edo, Ondo, and some parts of Ogun. So it's grown on a larger scale within these areas.
Okay, why is this so? Why is this so? Is it because of its benefits, medicinal benefits or commercial benefits?
Well, it's a commercial benefit for the greedy people, those that want to make quick money. It's not for the medicinal value, but for the commercial value to those that want to make quick money. That is the drug traffickers.
So who should cultivate cannabis? Is there a specialized set of people?
Cannabis cultivation is banned in Nigeria. It's a crime, it's a criminal offense in Nigeria. So anybody that indulges in the cultivation, trafficking, or use of cannabis sativa is subject to the law, and the law will take its course.
Other countries are already legalizing the cultivation because of its medicinal values and benefits. So why is there a law in Nigeria prohibiting those who decide to go into this venture?
See, every society has its own peculiar problems and solutions. From my experience in the enforcement of cannabis cultivation in Nigeria, we've not come across somebody that is arrested that shows that he is doing that purely for medicinal values, for medicinal purposes. They do that only for recreational purposes. That is for those that abuse, that take to the detriment of their own personal health and to the security of the nation. So the medicinal use in Nigeria is very minimal. There have been researches on it. I remember very well, our headquarters had approved, almost about 3 or 4 professors had gotten approval from our headquarters to do research on the medicinal use of it. But the results are yet to be out. As it stands today, it is a banned drug in Nigeria. And so be it. Okay, so in Edo State, we see that the areas along the Benin road, are highly into this. What are the statistics saying? Edo State is one of the major cannabis producing states in Nigeria. Like I told you, the cultivation level is very high or very massive. From our records, I will tell you that between 2015 to 2021, we have discovered and destroyed several cannabis farms, totaling 145.212844 hectares. That is huge. That is very huge, very massive. 145 hectares of cannabis farms had been identified and destroyed. Where are those areas? Can you mention the cities? Or? Yeah, the hotbeds are Uzeba, that's in Owan West local government. The Okada axis that you talked about, Ilushi. These are the areas that it is produced in massive quantities. So what is enforcement like? Because we keep hearing arrests and destruction and seizures, but the trade is continuing in a very large scale, like you said. Is enforcement weak? No, it's not that the enforcement is weak. Like I told you, 145 hectares were identified and destroyed. These are farms that are located very far into the forest. Farms that are not accessible by vehicles. It has to be, you have to trek kilometers, cross rivers before you access the farms. And that is because we pushed them to the extent that they had to go very far from the communities, so to say. The enforcement level is very, very high. That is why these farms are able to be identified. And we will keep on pushing them until they succumb. We will not relent. Okay, so this may be very, very funny, but how is a normal raid operation like? I mean, can you give us a picture, a mental picture of how it looks? You see, the cannabis farm destruction is a very tedious assignment. Number one, accessibility. Like I told you, is always in the thick forest, very far from them. Number two, the risk that is involved, because on several occasions they have attempted to attack us. They have lynched some of my men. We lost some people, some officers in the course of duty. They set traps that will inflict injuries on officers, and they normally use motorcycles to be able to move deep into the forest to move their shipments outside. So what we normally do is, if we fail to identify the farm to destroy, then we rely on intelligence, informants and intelligence.
And you lay siege.
Yes, intelligence and informants to intercept them as they are moving their consignments out of the bush.
That sounds very, very... All right, so let's look at the laws again in Nigeria. What does the law say? Because some people say when you arrest, in the next few days you are seeing the offenders again on the streets.
Yes, let me clarify an issue here first, before I answer that one. You see, the NDLA Act internationally recognizes drug abuse and drug trafficking. There are two categories in this scenario. Those that deal, that sell, that makes money, that makes profits out of it are the dealers. The users are those that take, that smoke. And these are people that, number one, they are jeopardizing their own health, they are losing their own money, they have nothing to gain in it, while the dealers are making money out of it. So if there is a raid, for example, in a joint, where maybe about 15, 20 people were in the joint smoking, somebody is selling there, our target is the dealer. We can raid all of them, but the users, we cancel them, let them understand the effect of the drug use and the drug abuse to their own health, and we release them. But the dealers, those that make profits to the detriment of people's health, are charged to court, and they are the ones that are convicted. So at times you may see, after a raid, the other users are released, the society will think, oh, they have released them. They will not understand that users are people that need help. So prosecuting them is like double jeopardy for them. They are already losing their health, they are already losing their money, and you are sending them to jail again. But the people that benefit from it, the dealers, are the ones that we're after, and those are the ones that we prosecute. Okay,
so what's the prosecution like? Like a dealer, for instance, does he stand a chance of going to prison? For how long?
Yes, of course. The law provides 25 years for possession. But judges have their own discretions. So they are at the mercy of, we are at the mercy of the judges. And we've complained about some ridiculous sentences where somebody will be arrested with tons of cannabis sativa, he'll be charged to court. You hear that a judge has given him 6 months imprisonment or 3 years imprisonment with effect from date of arrest. So at the end, is more or less he's let loose to go and continue again, and that one becomes a problem to us, because once he comes out, he's a threat to us because he feels aggrieved. Number two, he goes back to the business again, which is creating double problem for us. So the discretion of the judges and the sentencing are things that are outside the control of NDLA.
Okay, so in essence, you are picking holes in our judicial system.
The sentencing is too lenient.
Okay,
that's just a fact.
All right. So what kind of punishment awaits, like those who raid, the users? I read somewhere that if a boy of 17 and below is found wanting in this direction, he receives about 12 strokes of the cane, and of course a fine of 200 naira. Don't you think that is even too little?
12 strokes of the cane. We don't cane. We don't have the powers to cane anybody.
Okay.
We don't cane anybody. We don't. The law provides that there are procedures for handling of minors. There are juvenile centers that they can be sent to. If they are dealers, because like you pointed out, some of the dealers are conscious of the law. They try to bypass the law by using underage children for the dealing, expecting that even if the underage are at least arrested, nothing will be done to them. So there are juvenile centers that we send them to.
All right. Let's take a look now at the number of mentally deranged persons, otherwise known as lunatics, on the roads. Can this be attributed to the use of cannabis and other drugs?
Of course. You see, that is why when people are talking of legalization, doing all those things, they look, these people, these drug dealers, their interest is money.
They don't care about the health.
They don't care about the health of these individuals. 99% of most violent crimes are perpetrated under substance of abuse, under drugs.
Like armed robbery, kidnapping.
And kidnapping and all those things. But they don't look at it. As far as they will get the money, that is their interest. And they don't care about whatever happens. So most of these mentally derailed people we've counseled a lot of clients, that people, drug users that present themselves for counseling. And we have to liaise with Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Benin here, because some of them have reached a level of mental retardation. So we have to liaise with them to gently counsel and rehabilitate them. So it is a known fact that drug is very disastrous to people's health. Not just the mental health, it affects your systems.
So what's the ratio? Talking about the gender now, who takes Indian hemp mostly? Is it the male or female?
No, it's the male. But gradually, like in Edos here, we've realized that gradually women are now moving into the sale of the drugs.
Okay, they are selling, not taking.
Our records have shown that a lot of women have moved into the issue of into drug dealing currently.
So the command is taking drastic steps.
Of course, we are liaising with the Minister of Women Affairs on that.
And other partners.
Yes.
Okay, talking about the legalization now, some African countries have legalized the cultivation of this because of its medicinal values. So you earlier talked about Nigeria not heeding to that. Don't you think it's going to be shooting ourselves in the foot?
It's not, you see, like I told you, almost 95% of the cannabis produced in Nigeria are for recreational use only, not medicinal. We have not arrested anybody with drugs that proves to us that, oh, this cannabis, I'm using it for medicinal purposes. We have not intercepted anybody among all the traffickers that we've intercepted that prove to us that, oh, I operate maybe a health center that uses cannabis. That's why I want to buy it. So we don't have any proof that it is used for medicinal purposes in Nigeria here. And let us differentiate between legalization and decriminalization. When you talk of decriminalization, it means nothing can be done about it. You are free to do anything with that. But when it is legalized, when we talk of legalization, there are procedures to it. There are enforcements. Even if you want to farm, you have to get the approval. When you get the approval, it has to be monitored so that you don't extend the approved hectare that is given to you, and it has to be monitored so that you don't divert it for other purposes other than the. So the issue is, what is the enforcement level, even as of now? In order, it's of recent now that tramadol became a banned product. Before it was over the counter. And what is the enforcement level there? So why do we still want to bring, now that the enforcement level is even very difficult, why do we still want to add more problems to the existing problem that we have?
So it's like adding salt to injury.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Lastly, before we close, what is the way forward? You know, what is the way forward?
You see, the way forward, like when I paid a courtesy call on His Excellency in Edo State, we were discussing the way forward because we observed that most of the government forest reserves have been overtaken by these cannabis planters, and they have fallen all the forests that are there, bringing deforestation. So we are in NDLA, we are even looking inwards now. We want to see how we can bring what is called a crop substitution program, which is like giving an amnesty when if cannabis farm is discovered, and the owner will be, instead of arresting the owner will be given hybrid crops for him to plant on that particular farm. The cannabis will be destroyed, but that farm, he will be given hybrid crops for him to plant on that farm, instead of planting cannabis on it next year. So we are looking inwards out on how to introduce this issue of crop substitution.
Okay, so you are working with the government.
Yeah, it's at the national level. It's at the national level.
Okay, but in Edo State, is government in support of NDLA?
Yes.
I mean, there must be challenges.
There must be challenges, definitely. Like October last year, during the NSAS protest, they burnt our office. The state headquarters was burnt. Nothing could be rescued.
And all the seized
everything, all the drugs. In fact, they looted the drugs.
Oh, okay. That was the target.
Yes, before burning. And the state government came to our aid. They allocated another office for us. However, we are yet to move into it because it requires some little renovation. So we are wondering about the state government. At least they provided a shelter for us for the meantime.
Okay, we wish you luck. Okay, so what advice do you have for especially the youths who engage in the cultivation and of course the usage?
Yes, the youths. Let me even be more specific about the issue of the usage, because most of our youths are highly involved in issue of drug abuse, not only cannabis.
What's the percentage
not only cannabis
of our youths?
I don't have the records here that I can get, so I don't want to. I didn't come with any record that I can give you now as the percentage, okay. But I know the percentage is very high. That are involved in the use. I think the advice is that health is wealth. They should consider their health before any other recreational activity. It doesn't make sense for you to, simply because you want to be high, go and smoke something, go and take something that tomorrow you'll end up jeopardizing your own health. The youths are the leaders of tomorrow. So if we cannot have youths that are drug free, by the time we start having drug addicts as leaders tomorrow, then it will spell doom for the nation. So the youth should stay away from drugs.
All right, thank you very much. A word is enough for the wise. The youths should take heed to this advice and do everything you know that is right. You know, when somebody is doing something wrong, your inner mind tells you what I'm doing is wrong. And anything you are doing and you are hiding, like going into the forest to cultivate a farm, it shows that it is not right.
Even the smoking. Why do they smoke? They will go to abandoned buildings, uncompleted buildings, hide before smoking. So why that's a claim.
Yes, there is an issue I also want to raise before we close. Celebrities, for instance, you know, I know somebody like Fela was smoking in public, giving the impression that it was okay. What do you make of that?
You see, like I told you, the Indele Act provides for counseling and rehabilitation. And we don't arrest drug addicts, drug users. They are supposed to be brought by either come by themselves or brought by their relations for counseling and rehabilitation. That's why even when we raid the drug users, we counsel them and release them. Normally, celebrities are supposed to be role models because younger ones learn from them. But when a celebrity decides to jeopardize his own health, then at the same time he's jeopardizing the health of those that look up to him, because they will try to copy him. And as they try to copy him, you know, the human system differs. When 2 or 3 people decide to take cannabis, maybe for the first time, they will have different reactions because their systems are different. Some can even go mad completely. Some can survive it. So it is always very good for you to choose the role model that
will lead you right.
That you copy.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Buba Wakawa, the State Commander, NDLEA, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. He has been telling us all we should know about drug abuse vis-a-vis cannabis sativa and its cultivation in Nigeria. He says it is a no-no, and that's how it stands. All right, thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I appreciate your concern towards
enlightenment of the youths. Yeah, thank you very much. NTA is always setting the pace, and you know we are partners in progress.
Definitely.
So anything that will make Nigeria progress to the next level and to greater heights, NTA is always there.
Thank you very
providing
much.
services. All right, thank you very much for watching. I am Ogochukwu Kaona. It's always a pleasure having you on the program. Join us same time next week. That is Tuesday, 9:30 in the morning. Bye for now.